So my former boss, and I would call him also a mentor, he showed me how he made needles, and he was taught how to make needles. If you can believe this, he learned over the phone from a tattoo supply company in maybe the late 80s or early 90s. He said, yeah, so how do you do that? Now, what do I hold? So it's a really cool story, but one way that he would make needles is he would put them in the jig. I have some of my jigs here, but he would put the needles in the jig and hold them like this, put his flux and solder, and he would just hold it there with his finger, just get burned.
Oh
burned. You would hear it.
Yeah. Oh my.
Steam coming off of your fingers, and you would have these holes in your finger, like they hurt really bad.
Really?
So after months of making needles this way, I said, I wonder if I can use like in sewing they call it a thimble. You know, it's like a metal cap on your finger for sewing.
Sure.
And I found this, which is a silicone thimble.
Oh.
And silicone is heat resistant, like they make the spatula.
Yeah. Sure.
So now, if I make a needle, I hold it like this.
You will be sure.
My fingers are very grateful, but I'm pretty sure I still have permanent like damage in my fingertip from.
Oh.
Wow.
It was a lot of burning, man. You're like, don't let go.
Talking about pain.
Yeah, just talking about pain.
It's just an illusion.
But it's just it's also a good experience.
That was very valuable to learn how to make needles. Not because I think that I can make a better needle than black cloth. That's just not true. They're going to always make better needles than me. More experience.
Yeah.
Better materials, right? I think what's important is now if I open a pack of needles, I don't need an eye loop. I don't need this thing. If I look at it, I say, that thing will not tattoo good, because of where the solder is. And then if I see people, like right now it's very popular, they call them traditional groupings.
Yeah.
Like only a little bit of solder down here. I find that when people tattoo with those, after 1 year, you can see the line just, it travels a lot. I used to tattoo with those. They're very popular in the US. And I just found, okay, remember I said I used to experiment?
Yeah.
I had a client and I said, hey man, I want to experiment. And he said, okay. One day we did 2 sleeves on him. One black and gray, one color. But the line weight, the line thickness was the same. So one day he wanted to get 2 tattoos on the same arm. And I said, I'm going to use the same needle, but I'm going to do 2 different techniques. And I'm going to watch them age and see what changes. So I did many experiments on this kid. He was really cool. But one of the things that is an old school technique is riding the tube. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Like all of the old guys rode the tube. Yes, their machines had a blue spark.
Yeah. You said
like they were maybe using
following so just touching the skin with a small stroke. Yeah.
Yes, and everybody tattooed like that back then. And I used to think that was for guys that, had shaky hands or no stability or something. But I tested it, the same needle on this guy, and I watched the line age. It is much more consistent. Over time. Do I tattoo like that all the time? No. Sometimes I don't want to do it, you know. And in some places, if you're very afraid of like blowing out, it's better to not have it. But I also did experiments with those traditional needle groupings.
Yeah.
Like a traditional, like what's better? 7 liner with a lot of space, or like a regular 9 liner.
Yeah.
If you can compare. And I find that the 9 liner keeps a cleaner line. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
totally.
can't cheat, pretty much. I've learned you can't cheat.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
people that I tattoo fast, but one thing that I've noticed, you know, back to what we were talking about, the tattoo industry, the most famous guys, man, like I tattoo a decent amount of tattoo collectors, and I see the tattoos that they have from these really, you know, celebrity tattooers. They're not solid.
Yeah.
The lines are not clean. They're rushing. It's all about money, and they don't care to do a good job because they do not plan to ever see this person again.
Sure.
They say, whatever, I got my money.
Yeah.
Go back to your corner of the world. I don't want to see you again.
Yeah, right.
You know, they never ask for healed pictures. You know? They know it's not going to look good.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Yeah.
I've noticed a trend right now that really bothers me. But you were talking about rotaries. They're not very powerful, right? Yeah. And I know there are different kinds, but I notice a lot of people now, they want to line with a rotary, but it doesn't work coming toward you. So they go back away from themselves. Yeah. And for the whole tattoo, everything is backwards. And the needle is never touching the back of the tube. It's floating. You know, when you go backwards on the tube, it's just dancing around in the middle of the tube. That is not a good way to have consistent work, in my experience.
No, it's right. So it's something really, really different now.
Yes, I think that also, I mean, thinking about this last thing that you said, it makes the needle go randomly and in a different angle every few millimeters, right? So it's very...
Yes.
It's not really the good way of...
We were talking also about, a few days ago, we were talking about, you know, when you stretch the skin. I have seen people just stretching the skin in a really weird way. So if you have to do a line, so you know, like this, but you stretch the skin too much in another direction, you can also cause blowout.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you are moving the skin, you are moving the collagen. How does it called?
I think that the layers of the skin are shifting compared to the direction of the needle that you think in the surface.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, it's.
So it's also about this. It's a lot of things.
I think that
a few days ago I was tattooing somebody on this area of the arm, and I'm sure you guys do it this way. The person lays on their stomach.
Oh yeah, like this.
Arm backward on an armrest. Well, if you touch the skin, if you hold on to it and you do that, you can feel the skin twist.
Yeah.
I think this is why this area can be very painful on people.
Sure.
It takes like maybe 2 times the effort to get a good line.
Yeah. When
the arm is twisted like that, it's very important to be conscious. When I'm doing straight lines, like I don't know, like a diamond or something.
Yeah.
I only stretch in the exact direction of the line. If I can't stretch it that way, I will take many steps to make the line.
Sure.
Rather than trying to do it twisted like that. Yeah. And you know what, guys? It's like, those are decisions that nobody is telling you to do. You have to make the choice to do the more difficult thing every day. And these are things that your client doesn't know and will probably never understand. But you understand. And I think that's what's important. I understand. I took notes, right? Like I know that technique does not work.
Yeah.
So I think right now, with the tattoo business becoming an industry, I think everything is more short term.
Yeah.
People are thinking about maybe only the next 2 or 3 or 5 years. And I'm thinking about 20 years. You know, what will this tattoo look like in 20 years? And the client will not see that, but I have faith that in 10 or 20 years, they will look at all of their tattoos that they got from people that are more famous than I am or something like that.
Yeah.
And they'll say, wow, that Jordan Brill tattoo is the most solid one on my arm.
Yeah.
Who knows? I might be dead, but they will see that, you know?
Sure.
And I think that's important for me every day to know that I did a good job, even though nobody, you know, it's kind of like right now on Instagram, people film themselves giving money to homeless people.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like, oh, aren't I so good? You know? And it's like, no, actually, you're an asshole. You know, you're not genuine. And so every day, I think it's important that our morals, when it comes to the tattoo business, I think it's important that we clearly define what they are.
Yeah.
I am going to work today. I'm going to tattoo today to do this. So my business, we have like a mission statement. And so like, I want people to feel valued. Like you are not just a number. I'm going to remember how many children you have, what's going on in your life, if you're married, you know, all of those things. I want people to feel like $1 million when they left. And when you say, okay, that's going to be, you know, $1,500, they say, that's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only $1,500? Great. Here's 400 more, you know?
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
And it's not because I am a celebrity, you know, and it's not because I was too cool to talk to them or whatever. So I don't know. That's just my perspective, and I think that's why I stay busy right now. Unfortunately, in America right now, I should say in the States, we have a really bad recession. I started feeling it last year. I said, this is going to be bad. And so I started thinking ahead of like, how am I going to offer more value for my clients? And I stay busy. Like, I stay busy.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, really.
Yeah. No, it's true. Also thinking about the thing that, so in my opinion, you will never stop learning something. So every time that I do a guest spot or a convention, I can see people maybe tattooing in a particular way, in a different way. I say, okay, it's interesting. It's not mine, but it's interesting. Just it's better to have a look and before to say something like, oh, okay, it's a wrong way or something like this. I would like to see how other tattooers do their particular job. And also, I was thinking about, it depends also about the artist, and it's weird because I used to say I don't like to say tattoo artist. For me, it's just tattooer. So I don't know. Maybe I'm I'm weird. I don't know. And
I'm the same. Yeah.
And I was thinking about, you need to know what you really like. A guy told me just a while ago, a few weeks ago, a tattoo is a tattoo. So no one cares. Okay, I'm not in line with this because I know what I like to do and what I prefer to do for sure. So if there is one of my customers, okay, ask me for something that I usually don't do, but it's my customer, I don't want to say no. I don't want to be rude. But for sure, my customer already know that I don't like this stuff. So it's just to make you happy. But if it is not my customer and it's something that I really not enjoy to do, I cannot say yes for everything. So it's a little not a little. It's there's a big difference from when I start till now. Everything is different.
Yeah, tattooing is changing so fast. I know we talk about it every day, but tattooing is changing so fast. And to be honest with you, almost everything that I fell in love with about tattooing has died. It left a long time ago. It was almost like as soon as I started, it started going downhill.
Yeah.
You know, I started tattooing, and then people only want to talk about Ink Master.
Yeah.
You know, and it sucked. Like, but and I think that maybe social media is like maybe the worst thing that ever happened to tattooing. I know people don't share that perspective, because usually people's reasoning is, wow, I get to look at all this inspiration every day. I don't think that's true for most people. I think it's distraction. So I think that's not true. But like, I think it's good to be specific about what you like. And I don't think that, you know, oh, I only tattoo peony flowers only on butt cheeks or something. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
I think that if you are sure of who you are, and I think that takes time. It's almost like meditation. You can go on something contemporary like Pinterest and look and, oh, cool. But maybe one picture, you'll be like, whoa. And it's not a tattoo. I should say that. It's never a tattoo for me.
Yeah.
Because like you said, we see tattoos all day long. It's just normal for us.
Sure.
Originally it wasn't, right? Originally it was something special, but now it's whatever. Peony tattoo, I've seen a lot of them. But if you see an original like a Kuniyoshi woodblock print, and it just grabs your attention, I stop and I say, what is it about this that I like? You know, recently, this is a stupid little fact, but recently I realized that I love like this color blue in tattoos. It's not traditional.
Yeah.
But I love when other people do it. And so for many years, I didn't own this color of tattoo ink.
Yeah.
I'm never going to use it. It's not traditional. It's not Sailor Jerry. So I think that when a customer comes to you and they say, hey, I know you normally do neo-traditional or American traditional, or I recently had somebody say, I want you are my guy. I want you to do 2 Japanese sleeves on me, neo-traditional. I said, you know, unfortunately, I can't.
Yeah.
I am not that guy. The way that I do Japanese is very more simplified and strong, and I take Horiyoshi 2 is like usually my reference.
Yeah.
So, and that guy said no, and that's fine.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to know what do you like, and so there is a way that everyone can be happy.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys agree. If somebody comes to you and they say, hey, I really want a black and gray realism roaring lion,
Yeah.
you know, maybe 10 people that you can send them to, and you say, you know what? This person is perfect for your roaring lion.
Yeah.
That's a way of also delivering value to people. And I have had many people, recently I had a girl, she sent me a bunch of single needle references, and she's like, it was a friend of a friend, and she said, this tattoo is very important for me, it's an emotional thing, it represented something very dark and sad in her life. And she sent me a bunch of these references, and I said, hey, like, I appreciate all of that. I understand that this tattoo is meaningful for you. Because it is meaningful, I will not do that tattoo. Because it is meaningful, I respect you too much to give you that tattoo. And so the way that I believe tattoos should be done are A, B, C. I said it doesn't have to be color. It can be black and gray for sure. It needs to be large enough. And I have a reference on my phone. I save it in my favorites. And it's a fine line black and gray tattoo, 1 year healed. And so I send that to people all the time. I say, I can do that for you, but it will most likely look like this. And I don't think that's what you want, is it? If they say yes, I would be very surprised. They always say no. So if you know what you like, you actually can get your client even more excited about their tattoo. They love when we are enthusiastic, right? Like, You're like, dude, do I want to do, I'm trying to think of like a bad idea. One dragon that goes from a finger wrapping around your arm and ends on your chest. That's a bad idea, in my opinion. That's a bad idea.
Sure.
I say, dude, dragons are one of my favorite things to tattoo. I actually have 4 dragons tattooed on my own body. I love them so much.
Yeah.
I have a dragon this big on my lower back. I love dragons. However, I think it's important that you can see most of the tattoo at one time. And I think it's important that the dragon is the most important thing on your sleeve. And I also think it's important that this dragon doesn't prevent you from getting future tattoos that flow well.
Yeah.
I would love to work with you and make the sickest dragon you've ever seen. And people get so excited.
Yeah.
Because what's the alternative? They're going to talk to some asshole tattooer and they're going to say, yo, how much? On DM, direct message. And the guy will say, $4,000. And they say, can I see the drawing? No. Okay. That's it. That will be their interaction. So you can give them something different and offer value.
Sure.
So that's my belief. I think it starts with knowing what you like. And I think so many tattooers just follow a bunch of tattooers on Instagram because, hey, that's a good tattoo. Yes, that is a good tattoo. Does it apply to me? Does it inspire me? Do I want to make tattoos that look anything like that? No. So, like earlier this year, I made something on my story. I said, hey, I'm about to unfollow, I forget, it was a lot of people.
Yeah.
I said, no offense. It's not because your tattoos aren't good or whatever. Because some people take it personally. I think Instagram is good.
No.
But, some people take it personally. So I gave a little warning and I unfollowed a lot of people.
Yeah.
And now when I open up Instagram, even if it's just a reflex, I'm like, oh, that's sick. Because it's stuff that gets me excited.
Yeah.
And inspires me. And so I can take those ideas, what do you look at? What do you read? What do you listen to? And you can take those ideas and they are ready for a client to come along and ask, hey, what do you want to tattoo? What do you like with a dragon or a pinup or whatever? You say, well, I'm actually really excited to do this or explore this idea. And 9 times out of 10, people are very excited.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but you need to be sure for what you want and for and about the tattooer that will do your tattoo. And also about talking about the social media. Sometimes it happens to me, I don't know to you, but it's really weird when the customer asking you to use a particular needle or otherwise, but it's like that they do your same job and say, okay, you can do like steeple shadings and that. Why you? Well, no, I asked a while ago to one of my customers, why you know all this stuff? Say, no, it's just read on Instagram, but you really know what it is? I say, oh no, I just because I've seen the tattoo and it was steeple shaded. Okay, but you don't know what it is. So you have seen the final result, but it's not that you know anything about the stuff. And it's hard because they say, can you use, I don't know, a 9 round shader for this? No. Why not? And it's hard to explain why sometimes.
I used to work with this guy. He's very well known, American traditional artist in California.
Yeah.
And he used to use a very unique brand of black, and he did a lot of black traditional. And one time he had a client come and he said, I only have dynamic black on my body. You have to use dynamic.
Okay. That's cool.
So the guy bought a big 8-ounce bottle of black dynamic ink to tattoo this guy.
Oh my.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
like,
a lot of useless informations.
Yeah.
Yes, spread.
And I think, to be honest with you guys, I think a lot of that is actually among tattoo artists as well.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're talking about either.
Yeah.
They don't know that you can't line a tattoo backwards for 4 hours and expect a different result.
Yeah.
They don't know that, if your machine is spitting ink all over, that something is wrong. Yeah. They don't know these things. And so it's like bad information is getting carried down the line. And I just find it unfortunate. And this guy that I know here in the States, he shared a video of him tattooing, and he is one of the best traditional tattooers in the U.S., but for sure. And he said, you know what? Screw it. And he said, I'm using a 14-round shader. Blah, blah, blah. He said like maybe 3 or 4 facts, and he got like millions of views on a reel. Millions.
Yeah, sure.
The most I've ever had was I think 70,000 or something. And that was for a very entertaining. But I think people heard that and they said, ooh, I'm learning to tattoo right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I need is a 14-round shader and I can do a tattoo.
Yeah.
I always say to people, why I fell in love with tattooing, and this is very common, I don't know if it happened with you guys, but you were getting a tattoo and you look at somebody who knows what they're doing. They're doing a good tattoo on you. And you say, man, that looks easy. I could do that. I can draw.
Sure.
The only thing I need is to know where I can buy one of those. Yeah. If I can buy that, I can do that. Sure. And it's just not true.
Yeah.
I've been tattooing for 10 years, and every day I feel like I'm just beginning to understand it.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think that's the key. The fact that we still ask ourselves. The problem is that the majority of people entering this job, entering this world, actually, they just don't really want to ask themselves what they're doing, what they will do. It's like just quick, simple, whatever is connected with all this new mentality, right? But it's not a mentality that only involves the tattoo. I mean, it's also like science, right? So it's just something that involves everything, because you don't go to the book. You don't go to someone that really knows something and you ask for questions and okay, I didn't understand this. Can you please explain me this sentence, this definition or something? It's just something that, okay, I've seen this on a tutorial. I can remake it, right? I mean, try to replicate. Yes, thank you. And it's something that happens for anything. Really anything, and it's the quality jobs are basically pushed away by fast and quick and fancy replacement. It's I think it's for everything. Also house painting. It's something that could be done and just watching one just put the brush on the wall and it's easier, right? So it's I don't know. It's the trend that makes every handmade and handcraft work, easy and fast.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to I think there are really only two groups of tattooers now. It's like you said, they want fast money. Who cares? Or I care so much that I want to be the best. Because, I do think it's important in your life to have a way of measuring success. For some people, they say, if I make $150,000 per year, I am successful. Or if I only make, look at Bill Canales, if I only make dragon sleeves every day, I am successful. Hey, those are great things. Yeah. But those aren't the things that I want, Sure. And it's individual for everybody, but I think so many people are, because it's moving so fast. You go on Instagram and it's like advertisement. We saw that email that you opened. Now we're going to show you an advertisement. Facebook. It's like moving so fast that we are all becoming part of that. It sucks. It sucks to feel that way. Like, wow, I didn't go outside today. Like, that happens all the time. Especially, it sucks, dude.
Yeah, sure.
And it's like, my personal opinion is that Instagram has never been less interesting for me. Like, it's so bad. When I open it up, I'm like, I don't want to see any of this stuff. I don't want to see a half-naked girl dancing to country music. Yeah. I don't want to see, what this celebrity said about that celebrity. I don't care. But they have me. Like, they have me. And I'm like, wow, why am I even looking at this? But it's, it's science. They're like rewiring your brain. So I think that the two groups of people are the ones who are choosing to, it mostly has to do with the internet. Is the internet the most important thing, like the validation that I get from internet, or the validation I get from my clients? And so for me, I would say that I am just beginning to achieve success in tattooing, because success for me has nothing to do with the internet. It's about supporting my wife and my two dogs right now, maybe children someday. But those are the most important things to me. being able to take days off when I want to, being in control of my life. Those are important things. If you are only thinking about money, I feel like you're not in control of your life, because you're only chasing after money. If money is your goal, your only goal, then you don't want to ever take a day off. Because, hey, why would I go to the beach today? Why would I go see the beautiful architecture in Copenhagen? I could make money, and money is good, you know, and I think it's a very confusing world right now with tattooing, and I feel like I'm riding on a bull in the rodeo, like just barely hanging on. But I'm starting to like see a little bit of what I want out of life, you know, with this tattoo thing. I have a friend / acquaintance who's not too far away, Nick Moran. And Nick Moran has become successful in other areas of his life. He owns a tattoo shop in Knoxville, Tennessee. So that's like 3 hours away from here. And he's just been super helpful, and he has really cool, different opinions on everything, because he started off as a tattoo artist, and he still is a tattoo artist. But when you ask him about tattooing, his goal is to retire like now. He wants to retire like this year from tattooing as his profession. His goal is to tattoo when he feels like it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful goal for all of us, you know? Because our life is out there somewhere.
Yeah.
And tattooing can bring you a lot of satisfaction. It always feels good, you know, to create something awesome. You know, we have this phrase called folk art. You know, I love folk art, and I'm sure you guys are familiar.
Yeah.
It's part of where tattooing comes from.
Sure.
You know, look at Rosie Kamanga, right?
Yeah.
Why did those people create art? Why did the folk artists create art? Nobody was paying them. Nobody was seeing it.
Yeah.
Why were they creating art? You know, especially here in the States, you know, out in, when we first started settling the West, there would be a woman who would, you know, just see materials around her to paint with, and she would paint landscapes or something like that. Why was she doing that? Because she was going to sell it someday, or become famous someday, or whatever? No. It feels good to create something awesome, even if nobody sees it. So, well, hopefully I see it.
Yeah.
Yourself sees it. But I think, yeah, that's my opinion, is like, I think in my life, my family is number one. Like, I would stop tattooing if it were more important, you know? Like, if my wife got sick and I had to change careers, I would. No problem. But I think tattooing is a really special part of art. And nobody, unless you are a real tattooer with really strong morals about doing a good job, you will never understand that. It's something you can't teach to people. You know, right now, I'm sure that you guys have tons of people ask you, hey, would you ever apprentice me?
Yeah.
Will you apprentice me? I don't, honestly, you know, historically, you want to look at their art portfolio, right? Let me see your art.
Yeah.
I honestly don't care about their art. I can teach that stuff.
Yeah.
If you are a selfish, lazy, you know, person, I can't change that about you. You are going to be a selfish, lazy, narcissistic tattoo artist, and we don't need any more of those in this world.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I usually tell them, no way. Will you apprentice me? Not in a million years. Sorry, dude.
Wow. I mean, I really would like to, first of all, thank you so much for
your time
sharing.
And also sharing in your day off.
Yes. I mean, I personally really enjoyed all the things that we talked about. And we had really a great time, and I really thank you for being part again of our project. And if you don't mind, for now we just say bye to the guys on Instagram, and if you want, you can just stay on Zoom, and we can say bye between us. Okay?
Yeah, sure thing. Bye, Instagram. I don't care about you.
Bye, yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, bon voyage.
Yeah. Okay, I think that is like
I
this.
think, yeah.